This month we are talking about happiness and how we can bring a little bit more happiness and joy into our lives. So, we've all heard the song, "'Tis the season to be jolly." It's that time of year. And with all of the stress that goes on in our lives, just on a regular, month of the year, never mind the holidays, sometimes you just want to rip that music player out of the wall and throw it somewhere. But, it's hard to be happy when you're stressed. And I don't have to tell you that. I'm sure you've experienced it before. Maybe you were trying to go somewhere, you were late. You're trying to get the kids out the door, and nobody's cooperating, and that's stressing you out. Maybe you were planning some big event, and things started to go wrong. Maybe you had a problem at work. Maybe you got cut off in traffic. It could be anything that could be going. Maybe you have an illness in the family. And of course, the stress of it all just can suck the happiness and joy right out of us. But this is why it only makes sense, and we all know this, to really try and reduce the stress in our lives, to de-stress, because it's going to increase our happiness and our quality of life. And it's good for our souls. It's good for our mental health, our well-being. So today I wanted to talk about 3 things. What can I do to stop stress from stealing my happiness? What's so special about exercise? And I want to talk about some of the freebies I have for you. What are some of the freebies I have to help you to get more happiness in your life, to reduce the stress? But first, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nancy Brooker. I'm the Living in Yes coach for women who feel overwhelmed by life's demands and just secretly don't feel good enough, but are really ready to transform that inner critic and to connect to their inner worth. So they hire me to help them to really embrace their inner self, and to start saying yes and trust themselves and rock their so that they can rock their relationships and stress less and really live in yes. So let's start with the first question. What can I do to stop stress from stealing my happiness? Well, number 1, okay, are you getting enough sleep? This is always a big one. It's really easy, to not get enough sleep because we have a lot of things going on in our minds. Are you getting a good 7 or 8 hours of sleep every night? Our bodies need that time to rejuvenate, to process things that have happened to us during the day, to just to relax and let go. And it's not always easy to do, but it's really important. So, if you need some strategies for helping you get some better sleep, then let's chat, because that's super important, and it's one of the best. It's going to be one of the best things to help you get rid of your stress. What about me time? Do you ever take any me time? That's really hard. I think especially as women, it's hard for us to justify our me time because we think we're being selfish. Maybe you're raising a toddler. Maybe you've got a lot of work demands at work. Maybe you're trying to balance work and home. Maybe you've got some aging parents or something else going on in your life that's really, taking your attention, and it becomes really easy to forget about yourself. But we have to think about making ourselves priority, right? Just doing even one little thing every day that's just for us, and it doesn't need to be some huge thing. It doesn't need to be a spa day, although that would be nice. If you could do it, then do it. But it doesn't have to be that big. It can be just one little thing. I remember when the kids were little, just 10 minutes alone in the bathroom was like a gift from God, right? So, whatever that little thing is, if you can take a little walk after work, whatever, after supper, whatever that is, for couples, sometimes I know it can be really stressful when you have young kids because it feels like there's no time, and you always want to make time for a date night or whatever, but you can't always do that. So, one thing I sometimes tell them is to just have a romantic picnic in your living room or in your bedroom when your toddler is sleeping. There's lots of little creative ways to sort of get around that, just to create some you time or some couple time, right? What about meditation? Have you tried meditation? If you'd asked me 5 years ago about meditation, if I would ever do it, I would have just laughed in your face. I would have thought you were crazy. And the first 2 times I tried it, it was like pure torture for me. But, I persevered. I tried a few different types, and I actually even took a few courses. and gave myself a lot of space to, do it wrong, what I thought was I was doing it wrong, and just gave myself grace. And eventually, I found a practice, and it is a practice. It's not a perfect; it's a practice. Um, I started out just using like a meditation app. I think it was Insight Timer, and that worked really well for me for a while. And then I started to, get into it a little bit more. So it doesn't have to be hard. It can be just 5 minutes, whatever you can make time for. Listen to a guided meditation. Put some of those binaural beats in your ears or something just to help calm you down. So when life throws you a loop, you can just come back to your breath, do some breathing, listen to your little meditation or whatever that is for you. How about exercise? We often forget how important exercise is for managing our stress. There's a really strong link between exercise and improving our mood and our well-being and our happiness, right? Exercise helps our body produce, happiness hormones like chemicals like endorphins, things like that. And this happens really after just a few minutes of exercise, and it can last for quite a bit. I think it's up to 12 hours after that. So even just getting yourself out for a walk after a stressful day, it doesn't have to be a long walk. Just do something, get moving. You know, Not only that, but it helps to reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, adrenaline, all of these hormones that come up when we're stressed. So just that little bit of movement, that little bit of exercise can really help. It's like a 1-2 punch, right? Get those happiness chemicals and reduce those stress chemicals. And it really will help. And of course, we always think, I don't have time for exercise. It doesn't have to be big. If you have 5 minutes at lunch, go for a 5-minute walk around the building. Or, go up and down stairs. That's not as fun, but, if you can do your activity, or, if you can, of course, go for a hike in nature. Go outside when the sun is shining and you're getting that wonderful vitamin D into your body, getting that fresh air. Go to a Pilates class, go to a yoga class, take up running, join a basketball team, join a volleyball league. Do whatever's going to work for you, whatever you're going to actually do. It doesn't really matter, as long as you're having fun and you're doing something. So then my last thing is I have some freebies for you. I know especially around this time of year with the holidays, I have Surviving the Holidays, little tips and tricks. It's actually an ebook with exercises that you can work through. I've got 7 simple ways to de-stress. Another ebook that you can go through to help you de-stress. And then how to help your child with anxiety. And finally, a new ebook on communication and how to develop your own style of communication. Because, sometimes communication causes stress in our lives. So there you go, trying to get through this faster. Just remember you're awesome and amazing, and the time to relax is the time when you really don't have time for it. So do that now. All right, we'll see you soon. Take care.